in a big relief and a vindication for the Adani Group. Markets regulator, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, has dismissed allegations leveled by US short seller, the former Hindenburg Research. The regulator has cleared the Adani Group chairman, Gautam Adani, and the group's companies, including Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, and Adani Power, of any wrongdoing. This is a big, big exoneration and a clean chit. The Adani Group has come out completely clean. Remember, in January 2021, Hindenburg Research had alleged the group had used 3 companies to route money between Adani Group firms. Laying out its conclusions in 2 hard-hitting orders, the SEBI has said there were no violations, 0 violations of any kind. The Adani Group has consistently rubbished the allegations made by the short seller, whose founder, Nate Anderson, had announced in January that Hindenburg Research was being disbanded. So that's the big story that we're getting to you right now. And the big update is that Gautam Adani, the chairman of the Adani Group, has just put out a statement on his social media hailing the SEBI order. Gautam Adani says, Satyamev Jayate, the truth has prevailed. He says, integrity defines the Adani Group, and has demanded an apology from those who have fraudulently spread misinformation about the Adani Group. He says it was a fraudulent and motivated report by Hindenburg Research. He's called out the fake narrative on his X account. Gautam Adani has said, after an exhaustive investigation, SEBI has reaffirmed what we have always maintained, that Hindenburg claims were baseless. Transparency and integrity have always defined the Adani Group. We deeply feel the pain of the investors who lost money because of this fraudulent and motivated report. Those who spread false narratives owe the nation an apology. Our commitment to India's institutions, to India's people, and to nation building remains unwavering. Satyamev Jayate, Jai Hind, unquote. That is the statement that has just been put out by Gautam Adani, the chairman of the Adani Group. Vishnu Shom, senior managing editor, Vishwanath Nair, banking editor with NDTV Profit, both with us. Vishnu, quickly coming to you first, a very big, very clear, very crisp exoneration from the Securities and Exchange Board of India that says no wrongdoing by the Adani Group.
Well, you know, Shiv, at the end of the day, let's think about the small investor in the company, the various Adani Group companies, whose money earned hard from sometimes their lifetimes of savings were wiped out by what is clearly a malicious sort of act against the Adani Group. Now, a lot of people didn't believe it when the Adani said it themselves, but now you've got the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, which has actually come out with its final report completely clearing up the Adani Group. The allegations were very, very strong, of course, stock manipulation and accounting irregularities over a period of years. But I've tracked this very closely over a period of time, and I think it's important to point out a couple of things. Firstly, the Supreme Court was involved in this. They were monitoring this as well. The Supreme Court ordered SEBI to get into an investigation, and then they appointed a very high-powered, a 6-person panel of some of the most distinguished Indians to actually look into this. And finally, this report has come out. My final point over here, Shiv, look at the people who were involved on the orders of the Supreme Court in looking at whether the allegations against the Adani Group stood. Justice A.M. Sapre, former Supreme Court judge, O.P. Bhatt, former chairman of the State Bank of India, Justice Devadhar, retired judge of the Bombay High Court, K.V. Kamath, the veteran banker, former chairman of ICICI, Nandan Nilekani, the chairman of Infosys, and Somshekhar Sundaresan, advocate in the Bombay High Court. They had earlier on said that prima facie there didn't appear to be any wrongdoing, any wrong dealing by the Adani Group. The final report has come out, and it's quite clear that this was, as the Adanis have said, some sort of a malicious act, not just against the Adanis, but possibly against India.
Vishwanath, on the implications of the SEBI order, this became a huge political flashpoint as well. But speaking strictly of what the SEBI investigated and what it has said in its order, decode that for us, the implications.
So there are two orders, so to say, on the SEBI website. One is with respect to a certain transaction that were undertaken between Adani Enterprises as well as Adani Power and a couple of other companies. While on the other side you have Adicop and Access Limited, or Adani Ports and SEC Limited. These two set of transactions, the allegations were that money was being routed through group companies back into these companies, and related party transactions were not being disclosed to the market as well as the market regulator. What SEBI has found out is that there's been actually no related party transaction basis the definition that existed before April of 2023, because you can only verify a transaction on the basis of the existing rules that apply to it. You cannot retrospectively apply rules because rules did undergo a change in April of 2023. So before that, the related party transactions rules do not classify these as RPT or related party. In fact, what SEBI has also noted is that there is actually no fraudulent activity that has been going on. All the money that was given from one company to another was returned in time, with thorough interest. No market manipulation has happened. These are all findings that SEBI has pointed out in its order. And it's very, very clear then, from SEBI's point of view, this matter has come to an end. It has not found any weight in the allegations made by Hindenburg.
You know, Vishnu, the political implications of this, we have to talk about that as well, given that the Hindenburg report that has been completely debunked by a series of investigations, and notably this SEBI order as well, will have implications, because politically speaking, so much propaganda, so much crossfire took place on this one report.
Well, this was one of the most heated sessions that we've ever seen, possibly in the history of India's parliament, when the opposition, led by the Congress party, the Trinamool Congress, they hit out at the BJP. They accused the BJP and the Prime Minister of shielding the Adani Group. And now you've come out with this report. And the question which needs to be asked is this: in as much as questions have been asked in the past targeting the Adani Group, now that this report is out, will the same opposition parties and leaders actually say that no, SEBI is above board, that this was a Supreme Court mandated order, it was a Supreme Court monitored process as well, and therefore are all institutions in this country wrong? Is the Supreme Court wrong? Is SEBI wrong? Is the order wrong? Is everything wrong? This is a legal process that's gone on. It's gone on for a process of time. In your previous question to me, I identified the key individuals, some of the most distinguished in India, who are a part of this. I think at the end of the day, this entire sordid chapter needs to be laid to rest. When we need to look at the larger issues, the larger sort of identity of this particular group, how large it is, the lakhs of people that it employs, how it impacts India's economic trajectory, and some of the larger sort of conspiracy theories which have done the rounds. I would suggest that some of the key lawyers who've looked closely at them would suggest that they were right. There was something malicious, something potentially international, which may have targeted India.
Vishnu and Vishwanath, thanks very much for joining me. To all of our viewers, I just want to tell you, in the interest of transparency and as a disclaimer, that NDTV is an Adani Group company, and as managing editor, I guarantee you and give you all viewers an assurance that we report all of these proceedings with total editorial transparency, and we will update you on this story as well.